So it's a bunch of rich white people. I'm like, how, this is bad, right? So I mean, really, I really did have it like I'm in the wrong place. Maybe I was a token. That's what it was, affirmative action. Definitely don't do affirmative action, but that's what I told myself. So, I mean, it's literally 5 people a year, right? So it wasn't that, but I felt like I really was a fraud. And I was stupid, and I was dumb, and I was ugly, poor, and black, and a girl, bottom line, right? So who's gonna wanna hear anything I have to say? Make sense? Yeah. Nothing, couldn't write anything, couldn't think, couldn't read a book, couldn't do research. And so I did the process on myself, and I determined my current relationship with myself. I went through the process of declaring my independence. That's a long process. When I say long, I mean like it's longer than now. But I'm doing this I'm doing an eWomen Network international tour that's coming up soon, and I'll be doing that process with that group, right? So if you're going to be down with that, I would love to see you there. And then I had the desire. This is what I had. The desire that I had was to have my birth mother and Miss Francis, my 9th grade math teacher who taught me I matter. I wanted them both to walk me across that stage. Now, if you recall, I told you Mama put me out because things weren't okay in her house. Does that make sense? That's just the truth of it, okay? And I never went back because it wasn't okay. But I wanted her to know that she mattered. Are you with me? And I wanted her to know that I loved her. And it don't matter what happened, that I knew she did the best she could with what she had at that time. So that desire helped me design who I wanted to be for myself. Can y'all see this? Make sense? And that changed my actions. So I started doing 8-hour work days in terms of writing. I made requests. I asked for support, got a mentor, learned how to do the form. Can you see all those things became a natural fallout for who I was for myself, fulfilling that desire, blah, blah, blah. And then when I sent off that last piece of paper, that last chapter, it took me 3 months to write the dissertation, which is virtually unheard of. You would really have to know that world to really appreciate what that means. I'm back. And so, and so when I sent off that last paper, that last chapter, you know how your tummy starts to flip out and your throat can't really do it and your hands start to shake? Because now it was time for me to do the impossible. And what do you think that was? What? What do you think it was? What do you think was impossible for me to do? Call my mom. Okay, does that make sense? She put me out, y'all. Are y'all hearing this? Do you know what it would be like to have to go back 12 years to somebody who said, get out, and call them, and the relationship wasn't good? That was my impossible. Now yours may not be that, but I promise you, you have something like that in your business and in your life. I promise you. I don't have the time to really pull it, but I swear to God you do. But I wanted her to know she mattered. So I called around, got the number, and the conversation went something like this. Hello? Hi, Mama! What do you want? You know when you hear that tone, folks, and you're like, God, why did I do this? Why didn't I just stop when I got the dissertation written? I could have just stopped there. Do you know why I had to push, right? And I wanted to hang up the phone. That little bit of courage that took me to pick up the phone in the first place, it was about to go, continuing there, right? And then I gave myself that pause. And something I learned from Miss Francis was I gave myself that pause, and I started to imagine Mama not as a parent, but as a person. A lot of times we don't hold our parents as people. We don't hold them like people, like human beings. And I started to imagine what it must be like for to be Mama. You know, her mother died when she was 17. Life had not been kind to her. That's the short of it, okay? And while I was on the phone and I wanted to hang up, I actually imagined Mama, and I put myself in her shoes. I just put myself in her shoes. And I imagined what it must be like to be her. And when I saw who she was, not what she had done or pretended didn't happen or said didn't happen or denied, not that. We ain't gonna go there. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody's daughter, somebody's little girl. That was somebody, Mama was somebody's baby at some point. And that courage that had me pick up the phone in the first place turned into compassion. And what came out of my mouth was, Mama, you didn't take your love away from me. I took my love away from you. And I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? And she said yes. And for the first time in 12 years we slept under the same roof. Now, what came out of her mouth was, you know, Venus, you were a hard child to raise. I mean, like, now, there you go, right? So like, well, okay, I was you. I know what you know you don't. So she starts an argument, but it's okay, all right? Because I'm gonna tell you this, how many of us have lost the deal or broken the relationship because we had to set the record straight? Because we know it would, they're like, all right? Because but think about in your own relationships that you would have sacrificed all you built because you know the way they represent it is not necessarily how it happened. Are you with me? But I promise you, my clients, I have had clients lose millions because they had to set the record straight. And what if you didn't have to? What if you can grant pardon, folks? What if you can grant some grace when people didn't earn it? Whose life could you save like that? So I didn't set the record straight. I said, thank you. And she came to graduation, okay? And that was my impossible. So when I say to you, what's your access to doing the impossible? Your access is compassion. Walking in somebody else's shoes. Telling the truth. Granting pardon, granting grace. I don't care which one. Pick the one you like the best. And put that in for you and your circumstance, right? And how do you do the impossible? And it's very simple, everybody. You let go. You let go. And you have to let go. And more often than not, what you have to let go of is a thought or a point of view. I promise you. And when you let that go, you get access to taking actions that you would never have thought you could. You get unprecedented results. That's why my clients actually alter their lives by working with me, because they get free. They don't have to stay bound by a thought anymore. Make sense? Okay? So, let me check my time. Fine, God, fine. So I gotta wrap up real quick because I gotta, okay? But I do want to say a couple of things to you before I do. I put on your table, there's a couple of things. I want you to, this is my request, please stay connected with me. Check off whatever one you want. If you want to be part of the e-zine, if you know people who would benefit from hearing my message, I would love for you to have me come speak somewhere. I am a speaking fool, all right? Or if you want to refer me, please do so. And I also put, oh, thank you so much. And I also put a summary, an offer summary that I put together for you. And on the offer summary, there are 3 offers. One is a 75-minute self-worth blueprint strategy session with me privately, okay? So right now, I only have room for 3 more private clients because I'm getting ready to do this international tour. I can't do one-on-ones anymore. So that's about to go bye-bye. So, but if you're interested, please fill this out and give it to me at the end of the evening. And because this is my very first Plano Chamber event, I'm going to take $50 off of the $297 to make it $247, okay? So if that's something of interest to you, please, I will be honored to serve you. The second one is the Self-Worth Essentials. These are the 5 foundational tools for living a powerful, fulfilled, and influential life. These are the 5 different pieces that we can go in deeper with. And what we can do, I'm only doing 15 people with this one, but I want to do it as a group. Does that make sense? So this is more like a group event. And what I would love to do is do it on Saturday, so we do it live. Okay? And the bonus with that particular offer is you get the materials. Even if you never saw me again and you got those five tools and processes, you wouldn't even need me. You know what I mean? It's like, have at it. But the bonus material is worth the investment alone. The benefit of doing it with a group, priceless. Okay? And then I also have the audio program. Street Smarts is my brand in terms of my product line. And that tells the story about how I got off the streets, all the stuff I couldn't get in today. You can get that on the audio. Okay? So if you're interested, if it speaks to your heart, please fill out the paper. At the end today, give it to me, and I will be honored to serve you. And the last thing is, I just want to say to you as I wrap up, thank you for the beauty of your heart. Thank you for allowing me to tell my story. Thank you so much for being women who inspire me. I am so proud of you. And I'm of the opinion that if you knew how magnificent you are and have always been, you would be moved to tears about who you are. Because I am. And I want you to know I see you. And I admire you. And I thank God for you. So thank you for the opportunity to be myself and to share my heart. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.